Good evening, you're now with me, Lorenzo Isaac, for TVS Nightline. We begin with this story. The Education Ministry is intervening in a shocking sexual harassment case involving a primary school teacher and a 12-year-old student in Johor. Education Minister Fadlina Sidek confirms the accused teacher is immediately suspended from duties pending a full-scale criminal investigation. Fadlina reiterates a zero-tolerance policy on child exploitation, issuing a nationwide call for communities to report misconduct and demanding swift, uncompromising action from law enforcement on child-related crimes. The criminal investigation began after allegations spread on social media detailing explicit sexual harassment involving a male teacher and a primary 6 female student at a school in Masai, Johor. Following the public outcry, local police arrested the suspect while the Social Welfare Department stepped in to place the victim under protective custody. The ministry confirms its internal disciplinary proceedings are running concurrently with the criminal case as officials move to strengthen child safety protocols in schools. Testimony resumes in the coroner's court regarding the death of 13-year-old student Zara Karina Mahathir as experts confront family denial over the tragedy. On the 72nd day of the inquest, legal counsel are challenging forensic findings pointing to suicide, citing the victim's outwardly cheerful demeanor and lack of visible distress. But medical experts argue that teenagers frequently mask severe internal struggles, leaving grieving families in deep disbelief in the aftermath of an unexpected loss. Cross-examined by lawyer Abdul Fikri Jafar Abdullah, consultant forensic psychiatrist Dr. Chua Zehung defended his conclusion that Zara Karina's manner of death is consistent with suicide. Dr. Chua testified that the teenager experienced profound emotional and psychological crisis, notwithstanding testimony from those who describe her as a naturally happy child. According to him, individuals harboring suicidal tendencies routinely mask their true feelings to prevent alarming family members. The court also heard that the victim's internal struggles were not completely invisible, pointing to specific anatomical evidence of self-harm. Dr. Chua highlighted the presence of non-suicidal self-injury and so-called barcode markings on her body, which previous witnesses testified Zara Karina had shown to others before her death. Under intense questioning, the forensic expert concurs that denial and disbelief are standard psychological reactions for families confronting suicide, but accentuates that domestic denial does not invalidate forensic findings. The extensive inquest is investigating the events leading to July 17, 2025, when the teenager succumbed to critical injuries after being discovered unconscious in a drain near her school dormitory in the early morning hours. Police have crippled a gang of motorcycle thieves known as Gang Hadi following the arrests of 6 local men, including its 18-year-old leader, in a series of raids in Kapong last Saturday, leading to the resolution of 8 theft cases in Sentul involving estimated losses of 20,000 ringgit. Sentul Deputy Police Chief Superintendent Jasni Zolpa says the suspects, aged between 15 and 33, were detained during an operation conducted by the D4 branch of the Criminal Investigation Division at the Sentul District Police Headquarters. He says preliminary investigations had found that the group had been active since early this year. They are believed to have carried out multiple motorcycle thefts within the Central District before dismantling the stolen vehicles and disposing of evidence. Jasni says the dismantling activities were carried out at an empty store in Kapong, with the stripped motorcycle frames later dumped into a nearby river in an attempt to dispose of evidence. During the raids, police seized seized 2 motorcycles, 5 incomplete motorcycle frames, 1 set of motorcycle components, and 2 mobile phones. All suspects had been ordered to be remanded for 6 days from last Sunday to assist investigations under Section 379A of the Penal Code. Diplomatic channels are back in motion today as US and Iranian officials exchange draft texts in a bid to secure a formal peace deal to end the West Asia conflict. While global markets react positively to the breakthrough, the fundamentals remain weak as Washington is demanding Tehran halts its highly enriched uranium production. Concurrently, the situation on the ground is deteriorating as Israeli airstrikes intensify in southern Lebanon, targeting the region's last functional hospital. More on that from Cheryl Shaminato.
Thanks, Lorenzo. Diplomatic insiders in Tehran report renewed optimism as mediated discussions between the US and Iran are entering a critical phase, with Pakistani officials driving intense mediation activity. Messages and draft texts are currently moving between both capital and cities to outline a formal framework for peace. While a senior Iranian official expressed confidence that a deal is finally close, an internal second source warned it remains too early to guarantee a final sign-off. Meanwhile, speaking at a NATO meeting in Sweden, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed shifts in the negotiation landscape, but he maintained a stern warning on Tehran's nuclear capabilities. Here's what he said.
But obviously, we're dealing with a system that itself is a little fractured, so the Iranian system, and so, but that said, there'll be a couple visits. I understand, I believe the Pakistanis will be traveling to Tehran today, so hopefully that'll advance this further. The president's preference is to do a good deal. That's his preference.
Rubio reiterates that any agreeable deals must address the critical issue of Iran's highly enriched uranium stockpiles. The diplomatic movement is propelling financial markets today as European shares move sharply higher on the peace talk progress. The Pan-European Stocks 600 index advanced 0.5% to 623.79 points, heading to a positive weekly closer. The stock rally also rebounded despite looming speculations of at least 2 interest rate hikes from the European Central Bank before the year ends. Investor confidence is further buffered by recent economic data showing German consumer sentiment recovering and a 0.3% growth in the German economy in the first quarter of the year. However, the diplomatic optimism contrasts sharply with the violence unfolding in southern Lebanon. Israeli airstrikes continue to rampage through the region, hitting the Tab 9 hospital in the Bint Jebel district, leaving 9 people wounded, including medical staff. The recent strikes provoked severe reaction from the Lebanese officials, labeling the bombardment of the last functional medical center in the south a war crime.
معظم الأبنية اللي تهدمت وخاصة ببنت جبال وبعض القرى اللي كانت ما عم يقدروا الإسرائيلية فاتوا عليها وقت الهدنة. هيدي معظمها كانت التفجير والتلغيم والإبادة كانت بفترة الهدنة ما كانت بفترة الحرب.
At least 6 are dead in Tyre, Lebanon, following an early morning bombardment by Israel. Lebanon's national news agency confirms the latest drone strikes targeted the town of Deir Kanun and Naher, while separate air strikes in the Al Hafour area injured 3 civilians. And in other news, Israel confirmed the deportation of all foreign activists seized from the Gaza Aid flotilla, following a severe global outcry over recent brutal treatment by security forces. The dual reality of progress on paper and escalation on the ground leaves the region still in a fragile balance. Now that's all for now. Let's head back to Lorenzo Isaac for the rest of tonight's TVS Nightline updates.
Back to local news, 214 civil servants in Bintulu were honoured with the Loyal Service Medal on Friday in recognition of their dedication to the state. Sarawak Premier Dato' Pedinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg officiated the ceremony at the Imperial Hotel Bintulu, marking the 4th edition of the prestigious event for 2026. Honouring dedication across the board, the recipients represented a wide cross-section of public service spanning 10 different state and federal government departments and agencies. Leading the pack was the Sarawak State Education Department with 73 recipients, followed by the Bintulu Development Authority with 48, the Sarawak State Health Department with 38, the Sarawak Forestry Department with 24, and the Bintulu Division Residence Office with 10. Rounding out the honours were the Sarawak Agriculture Department with 7 recipients, the Royal Malaysian Customs Department Sarawak with 6, the Sarawak Land and Survey Department and Sarawak Immigration Department with 3 each, and the Sarawak Public Works Department with 2. Sharing in this celebration were top officials, including Sarawak State Secretary Dato' Amar Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki, Food Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Minister Dato' Sri Dr. Stephen Rundi Utom, alongside Deputy Ministers and other distinguished guests. The Madani government is intensifying efforts to ensure the country's energy supply remains sufficient through December following the global supply crisis triggered by the conflict in West Asia. Deputy Prime Minister Dato' Amar Fadilah Yusof says Malaysia's current energy supply is secure until July, with further measures now being ramped up to make sure the supply remains stable in the months ahead. According to Fadilah, those efforts include sourcing additional energy supplies from overseas.
Setakat ini, insya-Allah keterjaminan bekalan tenaga kita sehingga bulan Julai. Petronas sedang bertungkus lumus untuk mendapat sumber bekalan, malahan terpaksa pergi ke Afrika sekalipun. Dan kalau ianya dapat dikonklud, insya-Allah kita akan dapat keterjaminan bekalan tenaga kita sehingga Disember.
He's urging the public to play their part by practicing prudent use of electricity and water to help reduce pressure on overall demand. He says energy and water conservation measures could help extend the country's energy reserves, strengthen energy security, and lessen the impact of any global crisis. However, he acknowledges the rising costs are unavoidable due to ongoing global uncertainties.
Tapi apapun yang pasti, kos akan meningkat. Tapi dalam peningkatan itu, kerajaan akan sentiasa mengambil tindakan, langkah yang pragmatik untuk memastikan kesannya kepada rakyat tidaklah dirasai sangat.
Earlier, Fadilah also launched the Sustainable Rebate and Incentive Assistance Surya Home Initiative aimed at helping Malaysians reduce electricity costs. A total of 150 million ringgit has been allocated for the initiative through the installation of residential rooftop solar systems. The government is stepping up efforts to strengthen online protection for children, including through amendments to the 2025 Online Safety Act (ONSA), following a worrying rise in digital sexual crimes involving minors. Women, Family and Community Development Minister Dato' Sri Nancy Shukri says the issue is being taken seriously, including cooperation with various ministries and related agencies. Responding to questions regarding the alarming rise in online child sexual exploitation crimes in the country, Nancy said the move comes amid growing concerns over the increase in online child sexual exploitation cases, including the collection and circulation of child sexual abuse materials. Authorities detected more than 1.47 million digital files linked to child sexual abuse materials, or CSAM, through 4 major operations carried out from 2024 until April this year. Those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Lorenzo Isaac. Thank you for watching and have a good night.